So I've had the Meta Quest 3 for over 2 weeks, and I have had a lot of fun with it in terms of gaming and like entertainment purposes, right? And I made a whole video documenting my first 50 hours with this device. And if you want to watch that, there's a link in the bottom. But this video is actually just going to be talking about the important stuff like specs and the price and if it's worth it overall. So the Meta Quest 3 is one of the 3 devices that you can see on their homepage. And in terms of price and performance, it sits in the middle at $499 at the moment. And I would love to compare all 3 and tell you guys which is the best, but I don't own the other 2, so I don't think it's fair to even like speculate. So in this video, I'm just gonna stick with the Meta Quest 3. I feel like one of the biggest barriers to entry when it comes to VR and AR devices, other than the price points, because this is $499, it's not cheap, is how they are very hard to use comfortably. Phones are easy to carry around, and since they are still relatively compact, it isn't a hassle to use day to day, and smartwatches, for example, are even easier. But headsets like these are big, chunky, and kind of an inconvenience to even just use, right? But overall, the Meta Quest 3 comes at 18.2 ounces or 515 grams. Holding this weight on your head are these light straps that are very easy to configure for both the height of your head and the width, plus the cushion on your face as well, since a lot of the weight is distributed around here, obviously. If you have never used a headset like these before, I will say at first it isn't the most comfortable thing to wear, especially for hours and hours. But as I wore it more, I found it that the weight isn't something that I'm really conscious about. It's more of like having a screen in front of your face for hours. That's what I really had an issue with. The Meta Quest 3 has a really clear and sharp image quality. Now we're talking about resolution of 2064 by 2208 pixels for each eye. Yes, so that means videos in the Meta Quest 3 are going to be very, very crisp, and with this 120 Hz refresh rate, your games and VR surroundings will feel smooth. I have said this in my last video, but I cannot stop using this app called the Nature Trek VR. Although the graphics aren't the best or anything, the Meta Quest 3's 110 degrees horizontal and 96 degrees vertical FOV will make it feel extremely immersive. Now, keep in mind, we're using 2 LCD RGB screens. It's not OLED, but the contrast for the most part is very impressive. The cameras on the Meta Quest 3s are very nice. When you are using them for pass-through mode, which is the augmented reality or AR component of the headset. So if you need to walk around your home while using the headset, you actually can, and accurately without bumping into things. Now, keep in mind though, the quality of the camera is okay. It gets the job done with full colors, but the low light capabilities of these 18 pixels per degree cameras are not the greatest. It can get very grainy and sometimes feel slow, but for the most part with decent lighting, it does the job really well. I can't say it's like the most clear camera of the world. However, utilizing the pass-through mode to do work or browse the internet with AR is very nice. And since you have an amazing screen, applications that are placed in your new AR world are amazing. Real quick, I do want to go over these controllers because they are great. They're really comfortable to hold, and the accuracy of these controllers are unbelievable. They could track really fast movements, so for games like 11 Table Tennis, which I've been really obsessed with, you can move really fast. Well, I don't know why I'm moving like this, but like move really fast and not have to worry about it kind of not tracking that movement. But what's also really fun is that they have sensors that could actually know if you're wanting to make a fist or point. And it looks like they have sensors on the top as well. So if you place your thumb down, they know that your thumb is down, and you can just lift it up to give a thumbs up. Just holding this lightly, the triggers will tell them, oh, he's closing it, but you don't have to press it all the way. Does that make sense? You can't really charge them through USB-C like the headsets themselves, which is kind of a shame. But having batteries, they do have perks, since you could just take them off and replace it really easily and not have to wait to charge. But it'll be nice to have both options. Back to the headset themselves, you can actually connect your earphones through this 3.5mm auxiliary port. But honestly, it's not needed. The stock speakers within the Meta Quest 3 are very nice. It already has 3D spatial audio, so if you're playing like an FPS game like this, you will know where shots are coming from. And unless you want to completely shut your ears from the outside world, you're not really going to need earphones. Unless you don't want people to hear what you're listening to or doing for whatever reasons. Virtual reality is still something that is weird to me. The ability to fully immerse yourself in a virtual world is both amazing and scary at the same time. Again, I do have to highlight the incredible specs on these screens. Certain apps are just so fun and immersive, but most of the good apps do require some kind of payment, But again, I do have links below that will give you a $60 Quest cash credit that you can use for accessory apps and games if you buy one of the Meta Quest 3 or the 3S. And this is only available from now to the end of December. And as I mentioned before, I already made a full video about my time and experience in the VR world. So if you want to check that out, I have it linked. Now, the Meta Quest 3 and AR and VR devices in general aren't really for everyone, right? It's not something that I could just recommend to every single individual and they'll have a good time with it. And a lot of common questions that I do get about these headsets or just AR, VR in general is that, are they able to replace your PC? No, let's get that down, right? You cannot compare these to PCs or consoles. These things aren't comparable at all. Now, the $499 price tag on the Meta Quest 3 is a lot in general, like objectively. It's a lot of money, but they are worth it for what you get in this device. But with what they offer with the screen, the camera, and the whole experience in general, the $499 price point is worth it for me. However, disclaimer once again, I am not being paid or sponsored to make a video or make any of these videos, or even future videos at the moment. But I did get affiliate links from them that actually benefits me financially if you guys purchase through them. However, because I did not want you guys to think that my opinions are influenced in any way, I have decided to also add non-affiliate links that you could use that if you decide to purchase the Meta Quest 3 at all and you do not want to kind of directly impact me in any way, which I fully understand and I will not be hurt by it at all, I have those available as well. So there's gonna be 2 links, but overall, I do think the Meta Quest 3 is an amazing piece of hardware. It's really cool, and I actually think I will be using this a lot. Probably not every single day, but for the most part, at least once a week, I think I will be picking these up. And thank you for watching, and if you have any questions at all about these devices, I will try to read and answer as many as I can in the comments below. So, thank you.